Good evening. Welcome you all for this session on this why smart people choose IceQBS for their Lean Six Sigma certification. And this is going to be a sort of a interactive session because again, some of you might be knowing about the Six Sigma, some of you might not have been knowing. So about the benefits and who can take the certification and all. So again, it is more of I will just show you some slides. I will just quickly run through. But again, it is more like your doubt clarification session or whatever you want to clarify or you want to learn anything specific. So that will be the intention of this session. So I like you to give a small introduction about you, like what's your name, what is the name of your company where you are working. So what vertical, whether it is manufacturing or IT service or software development or healthcare. So what type of vertical you are working and what is the product or service you are making and which function you are working, whether you are from quality, production or marketing or sales, etc. How many years of total work experience you have? So that I will just have some idea about the audience and then we can get started. So we'll start with Vinod. Can you just give us a brief introduction about you?
Okay, sir. Good evening.
Yeah.
I'm from Belgaum.
Okay.
So basically, I'm working in aerospace industry.
Okay.
We are manufacturing like a USA based on aircraft level
Uh-huh.
and like Apache, Boeing related, Airbus related.
Okay.
But basically, I have a production overall 7 years experience, production supervisor, and as a production engineer level.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a small knowledge about brief Six Sigma, not that much.
Mm-hmm.
I want to continue be with your team.
Okay.
So that's the reason I joined. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So is it aerospace components or aerospace assembly or
Assembly
components?
and assembly and composite structures.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Sandeep, can you give a small introduction about you?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. This is Sandeep from Coimbatore. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working at BAPL Hyderabad. My actual company status, but I'm a customer QC engineer, senior QC engineer at L&T. We are making defense related components, and I have a vast knowledge in Lean Six Sigma. I have done green belt in Udemy, but I have it will go for further for my future needs, and I have more than 4.5 years experience in that of defense industries and 9 months at automotive industries. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Prahlad? Yeah. Can you give introduction about you, Prahlad? Okay. Jagdish?
Hello, sir. Good evening. Uh, this is Jagdish, and I do have a experience of 6 years in various companies. I used to work as a quality engineer in the foreign MNCs as well as the Indian MNCs. Currently, I'm working as a CBM engineer at Adani Power Plant, and that's it.
Okay. It's power generation or distribution?
Actually, both the things: power distribution and power generation.
Okay. Thank you. Soni Singh?
Good evening, sir. Myself, Soni Singh. I am working as a QQC engineer. I have a total experience 10 years approximately. I am working in deep piping system, and we are manufacturing piping and fabrication in the power piping and gas oil piping, and we are supply all world pipe manufacturing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Are you listening now, sir?
Yeah. I'm.
Sir, I am Prahlad Digambari. I completed BTech engineering, sir. Presently, I am working in solar processing glass company, which is located in Kolhapura.
Okay.
Kolhapur.
Maharashtra?
Yeah. It's on boundary area, sir.
Yeah. Karnataka, Maharashtra. Yeah.
Yes. Belgaum, near in between Kolhapur and Belgaum, it is located,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
One of my friend already completed from your side course, sir, Mr. Perez, and suggested me to took this opportunity. So I am very much interested to learn and about success and which will help in my upcoming career, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So I think most of you are from manufacturing. That's okay. So I'm just going to tell you, just give you a brief about small introduction. So why actually Six Sigma will help you to um, come up very fast in your career. So before first, I will start with a small introduction about myself and our company. So our company's name is IceQBS. So we are actually a Chennai-based organization serving the global clients from 2015. So we have almost 11 years of existence. So we are actually specialized in the customized content development, training, and implementation support for lean management, Lean Six Sigma, and project management. And whether it is the individual students or the organizations, our effort is always ROI, return of investment focused. So that means if you are going to invest some 15,000, 25,000 or 20,000 rupees in our training, definitely you will get a lot more returns because of your career growth. Same way organizations, whether it is corporate training or a consultation project, if they invest 1 lakh on us, then they will get a return of 7 lakhs. So 7 times. So that is what our norms. So we have already consulted, trained more than 15 plus sectors. So varying from like I have taken the training for some of the customer list is coming in the next slide. So like Amazon, Accenture, and Standard Chartered Bank, Pfizer Healthcare, and so on. So my name is Annamalai. I'm basically a BTech engineer from IIT Varanasi, Banaras Hindu University, and I completed my my degree in the year 1985. And I was certified as a black belt, Six Sigma black belt in the year 2004, almost 22 years back. And I was certified as a master black belt by the prestigious Indian Statistical Institute, Chennai, in the year 2013. And I'm also a certified PMP, project management professional, for the excellence in project management, and I got it certified in 2011. And I have a total of 30 years of work experience working for well-known companies like the EAD Parry India Limited and the Siemens. And throughout my 22 years of association with Six Sigma, I have guided and successfully completed 500 plus Lean Six Sigma projects worldwide. And I have trained more than 8,000 people professionally across the globe. So our working professionals, we conduct a normal, every month we conduct one session on Lean Six Sigma, Green Belt and Black Belt. And almost 50% of our participant students are from Middle East, and around 40% of the people are from India, and the rest of the people are from Africa, Southeast Asia, Europe, and USA. So we have a global presence, and these are some of our major customers for both consulting and training. So I have worked with giants like Asian Paints, Amazon, Standard Chartered Bank, Tata Communications, Hyundai, Accenture, Lena, L&T Walls, Mahindra Finance, and so on, Pfizer Healthcare. And I also worked for the foreign companies like Abraj Energy Services in Oman, Horizon Fisheries in Maldives. And I'm also a visiting professor for the Goa Institute of Management for teaching the Six Sigma related courses in for their MBA student. And I'm also a guest faculty for Boto University in Botswana. Botswana. So that is about very brief about our company and myself and about our clients. Okay. So to start with, so all of you know that every day, whenever any typical day in many organizations, it happens like that. So you just enter your office in the morning, and you see that either there is a major problem is there, either some critical machine is on breakdown, or there is a major escalation mail from the customer, or there is a lot of scrap. Suddenly in the process, there is a lot of scrap, or maybe there are some wastages, or a lot of rework is happening, a lot of rejections are happening, and so on. So every day, so you as soon as you enter in the morning into the office, then you get into a firefighting mode. So you would have planned a particular work to be completed on that day, but all the plan will go into the dustbin. So you just get into some emergency meeting to try to address the issue. And then maybe by the evening, again, maybe you have temporarily identify the given some solution. And again, you feel that the problem has been fully solved. But again, the next month, again, the same issue will happen. And again, we will be again falling into this vicious cycle, right? Because the problems have not been solved in a structured manner. So just like a quick solution, if you are going to solve, then it is not going to really help you. Always you will find yourself in a firefighting mode. And many times you will find that maybe one of your colleague and you, maybe you are in the same grade, and maybe you are working same number of years of experience, maybe 7 years. But again, you may find that both of you entered as maybe the interns or a trainee in the 7 years back. But maybe now he has gone very much up in the career ladder, whereas you are lagging behind. So you may be finding yourself to be a very busy professional. You may be working very long hours, constant fire. So you are identified as a very good firefighter. But again, it is not going to be really useful to you for your career growth, because the management is not going to encourage the people who are the firefighters. Maybe they may just give some immediate awards, but they are not going to see you as a potential uh, senior management profession, right? So maybe you may be lying in the same position for years together, just doing the firefighting every day, and mostly in the execution role, not in the decision making role, because you don't have that capability of problem solving. Whereas the other friend who has joined with you on the same day, maybe he was a very good problem solver. So whenever he has a problem, then he collects a lot of data, and with the help of the data, he is able to find out the root causes for the problem, and he finds a permanent solution for the problem, and he is identified as a problem solver. So whenever any critical issues are coming up, then people go to him with a very much confidence that he will give the permanent solution for the problem. So only those type of people will always come up well in the organization. So when we talk about a problem, so what is a problem? So problem is an obstacle which makes it difficult to achieve a desired goal. So your management has given a lot of targets to you in terms of the productivity or on-time delivery or the yield, etc. So a lot of very difficult targets are given to you. But because of one reason or the other, always you have some problem in achieving those. So either there's a lot of delay or reworks and errors, customer complaints, firefighting culture, and so on. So these are some of the typical business problems. And problem solving means any problem will have one or many solutions. So whenever you have a problem, immediately going and starting to work on the solution is not going to be really helpful. So you need to first define the problem, quantify the problem. So it is not a good saying that there is a very big problem, or it is a the yield is very poor or something like that. So you need to quantify the problem. Then you need to fix the target, what you want to achieve. Then do some brainstorming sessions to identify the root causes for the problem and list down all the possible solutions. Then make an action plan, implement the action, and you just measure whether the problem has been solved. So again, there are some issues, then again resolve it, and then you just put in some mechanism in place so that you will be able to sustain the improvement. So that is what we call as a structured problem solving. So whenever you are encountering any problems, then depending upon the complexity of the problem, again, the approach what you are going to use is going to be changed, different. So why this is very important, why this different approach is important, I will just give an example. For example, if you want to carry some 5 kilograms from one place to another place, another department, which are 100 meters apart. So if you are going to carry only 5 kilograms, then maybe you can just carry it in hand, no issues. But if you have to carry 20, if you have to transport 20 kilograms, maybe you cannot you cannot take it by hand. So you may have to use a trolley. So if you have to transport some 500 kilograms, again, the trolley may not be sufficient. You may have to use a forklift. And if you have to transport some 5 tons, maybe even the forklift may not be enough, then you have to take a crane. So depending upon the complexity of the problem, the approach, whatever you are going to use, also will be different. So likewise, again, whenever you have any process problems, depending upon the complexity of the problem, again, there are different approaches are there. So this is what we can identify with this problem solving tree. So imagine that you are entering a orchard which is having a lot of fruit bearing trees, and your aim is to taste the sweetness of the fruits. But as soon as you enter the orchard, you will find that already there are a lot of fruits which are fallen on the ground. The only effort what you have to take is just bend down and pick those fruits and eat it. So similarly, there are many problems in your workplace which are very simple and which are very obvious, and finding the problems is also very obvious, and solving the problem is also obvious. Only thing is you should have a mindset to observe those problems. So you take a notebook and you just take a walk from the raw material storage area to the final finished goods area. So you may find that in the raw material store itself, somewhere the material is leaking, somewhere water is leaking, somewhere oil is leaking, somewhere some rejection is happening, somewhere people are idling, somewhere the machine is under breakdown. So a lot of these problems are there. So only thing is you just note down all the problems, then you just arrange for a simple brainstorming session, and then try to find out an action plan and then implement the action. A lot of improvements will be there. So that's what we call it, just to do it. So it doesn't need any rocket science for analyzing or solving the problem. But only thing is you should have the problem solving mindset. If the mindset is not there, that type of simple problems you will not be able to solve. The other type of problems is the what we call as a quick wins or low hanging fruits. Again, in the orchard, you will find that there are some fruits which are in the low hanging branches. So only thing is you will have to take a little effort, and then you can just plug and eat those fruits. So similarly, in our workplace, there are some problems will be there, which just by taking some little effort, you will get maximum benefit. So by using some simple problem solving tools like the fishbone diagram or a Pareto chart or a YY analysis or some scatter plot or a histogram and so on, you will be able to solve some problems and you will get a lot of cost savings are there. We call it the quick wins or the low hanging fruit. So these two approaches are mainly used for solving the simple problems. And for solving the medium complicated problems, we can go for either lean or 8D report. Lean is actually a methodology for identifying and eliminating waste in the process, and it originated from Japan, and it is now very popular across the globe. And 8D report is mainly used for the solving the repeated problem. For example, you are making some aerospace components or automobile component, and you are finding that 1%, approximately 1% of the components what you are delivering to the customer is always having a crack at the same spot. And this is repeating for the last 6 months without any solution. So to solve any problems which is repeating without any solution, then you can go for the AD report to go in depth about the analyzing the root cause of the problem and solving that. So lean and AD reports are mainly used for solving medium complicated problems. But for solving complex technical issues, then you need again a complex methodology for problem solving. That's what we call as the Six Sigma. And again, in Six Sigma, we have the different approaches depending upon what type of problems you are trying to solve. So if the process is running for more than 1 year and a lot of variation is happening, for example, you are running a chemical process and this process is running for more than 1 year, but sometimes the yield is very high at 98%, and sometimes it goes as low as 85%. So there's a lot of variations from 85% to 98%. So if a process is existing for more than 1 year and a lot of variability is there in the process, to solve those problems, we can use the DMAIC methodology. So again, we are going to learn about that in the slightly in more details in the coming time. So that D stands for define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So this project has to necessarily go through these 5 steps, 5 phases, so that you can systematically find the root causes of the problem and solve those problems. The DMEDV is mainly used for re-engineering and improving the process. For example, maybe whenever you are running a process and you are finding that 96% is the maximum best yield you are getting in the process, beyond that, it is not at all possible. But because of the very tough competition, the business requirement is that your yield should be minimum 99%. So in that case, you'll have to totally dismantle the current process, and then you'll have to re-engineer the current process and make the improvement. So this type of re-engineering the processes, we call it the DMA-DV approach. Define, measure, analyze, design and verify. So you'll have to change the design of the product or the process. And CDOV is the process taken for developing a new product right from the scratch. So you'll have to start with the concept. So you'll have to come out with a new concept. Then you'll have to do the designing, then optimize the design, and then verify whether the design works. And then you can just roll out the product. So these 3 methodologies are used for the 3 different methodologies within Six Sigma, which is used for solving some complex problems. So depending upon the problem, you'll have to select the right approach. And whenever you are taking the training in the ICEQBS, then we are going to systematically give you right now, this is how we start. So what is the problem, how you are solving? And then we will be learning about some of the tools, Lean tools, and then the Six Sigma tool. And then we also will be learning how we can apply these tools in solving your real life problem. So basically, we start with identifying some of the simple problem solving tools. So the basic philosophy or the concept on which most of the process improvement methodologies work is what we call as the PDCA, plan, do, check, act. So any improvement you want to do, you just make a plan, then implement the plan. Then after implementing, you will find that then check whether you plan for the improvement, then prepare an action plan, implement the action, then check whether real improvement is achieved. If there's a gap, again you take some action, corrective action. And then after 1 cycle, you will find that some improvement is there, but don't be satisfied with it. Again, you just repeat this PDCA cycle. Some more improvement will be there. So continuously you go on improving, then a lot of improvement will be there. So this is what we call this moving from fixed mindset to what we call as a growth mindset. So in the fixed mindset, you always follow a particular process, and you are not going to think innovatively, or you are not trying to solve the problem. So the problem will always be repeating. But if you are going to have a growth mindset, even as and when the problem comes, you are going to think innovatively, and you are going to take some corrective actions for solving those problems. So this PDCA cycle is the basis for all the modern day process improvement methodologies, whether it is lean management, Six Sigma, TPM, ISO 9000, or all those things. This is the basic concept. And I think some of you would have already learned about some of those common tools. The Pareto chart is actually, or a Pareto diagram is a tool that will help you to prioritize root causes for immediate solution. For example, if your yield is very low, only 90%, and you are taking a project, or you are getting a lot of customer complaint, and you want to now take some action. So again, you might have received some 100 customer complaints in the last 6 months. They try to categorize them into different reasons, different problems. Then maybe delivery delay, wrong product, billing issues, etc. Then out of these 10 problems, you will find that only 2 problems are contributing to more than 80% of the customer complaint. So if you are going to address only those 2 problems, then your customer complaints is going to drastically reduce. So this is what we call as a Pareto chart. So that will help you to. So whenever you are taking any Six Sigma project, so instead of taking a project with a very big scope of work, try to again do a Pareto chart and identify one or two very focused area for improvement, so that the improvement can be achieved within a reasonable amount of time. Then fishbone diagram is again also called as a cause and effect diagram. Is a tool that will help you to find out all the potential root causes for the problem, and you can just categorize into different reasons. For example, if you are getting your yield is very low, then put the yield row at the head of the fish, and then try to do a brainstorming session with around 10 to 12 people from different department at different level. Do a brainstorming session for 1 hour, and then whatever the ideas are coming, you just categorize into man-related issues, machine, material, method, measurement, and mother nature or environmental related issue, so that you will be able to take some immediate action. So fishbone diagram is again a very important tool to find the entire list of all the potential root causes for the problem. And again, this YY analysis or YY analysis is a very useful tool for finding the root causes of a problem. I'll just give a simple, very relatable example so that it will be easy for you to understand. For example, yesterday you were late to the office by 1 hour. So you wanted to find the root causes for you being late to the office yesterday. So you asked yourself the question, why I was late to the office yesterday? The answer was, I got delayed at the time of filling petrol in the petrol station. Again, you asked the question, why you got delayed at the time of filling petrol? Because I forgot to take my wallet. Why I forgot to take my wallet? Because I got up late in the, I was because I got delayed at the time, because I got up late in the morning. Why I got late in the morning? Because the alarm clock did not ring. Why the alarm clock did not ring? Because a spring in the alarm clock was broken. So if I want to find the reason for me being late to the office yesterday, by asking the question why multiple times, I will be able to find the root cause of the problem. And if I'm going to take action on those root causes, my problem is going to be permanently solved. So a combination of this Pareto chart, the cause and effect diagram, and YY analysis will help you to analyze the very important problems and then take some corrective action. So these are some of the very basic and very powerful problem solving tools. And again, we'll learn a bit about lean. So lean is a methodology for identifying and eliminating waste in the process. Okay. So waste means immediately what comes to our mind is the scrap, whatever we are doing in the process, but that is actually not the only waste. So there are 8 types of waste according to the lean. And lean means it is a main principle in lean is to maximize the customer value while minimizing resources. So lean means more with less. It means more output with less input. So for example, assume that currently you are selling around selling price is 100 INR for your product, and your cost price is 80, 90, then your profit is going to be 10. But if you are going to implement lean, then you are going to give more output, more features and functions to the customer. So he is willing to pay more for your product. So instead of 100, you may get 110. And since you are doing it with the lesser resources, then the cost price is going to be less, then that is going to be 80. So your profit is going to be 30. So that means 3 times your profit is going to improve if you are going to implement lean. So that is why most of the companies, they want to implement lean in their organization. So it actually originated from Japan during the 1950s, and Toyota in Japan, they were the pioneers in implementing lean. And starting from the year 2000, this methodology is spread, now gaining momentum across the globe. And again, as I told you, there are 8 different types of waste, which we can remember by remembering the word downtime. So D means defects. So any scrap or rework you are doing the process that is not adding any value to the customer, that is a waste. Overproduction. So if you are going to produce more than what the customer has ordered for, since you have some idle capacity, but again after some time, if the demand for the product is not good, not the order you are not going to get from the customer at all, then everything may become non-moving or a slow-moving stock, and again a lot of wastage is going to happen. So that's what is the wastage due to overproduction. Waiting. So if the capacity of the machines are not matched, and before a particular process, a lot of waiting time is there. So time is money, so that is going to be a waste. Unused talent. So many times we find that our people are either idling or high skilled people are doing some low skilled work. So these are wasted due to the non-utilized talent of the people. Transportation is mainly because of the layout. If the layout is not good, again, a lot of to and fro movement will be there, increasing the power and fuel cost, and then maybe increasing the scrap and rework also. Inventory. Any work which is not, we are unable to monetize, we call that as a inventory. So maybe we have invested on the material, we have invested on the machine time, we have invested on the manpower, and then we have converted the raw material into the finished goods. But since the order is not there, then it is lying as a finished goods inventory. Then we have not been able to convert it into the money. Then again, we will face a lot of cash crunch. So that is a problem because of inventory. Motion, any issues because of the not the proper working environment. So if while doing a work, you will have to bend a bit while you are loading the machine, and you will have to stretch a bit when you are unloading the machine, and you have to walk some 100 meters for transferring the material to the finished goods area. So this bending, stretching, and walking is going to make your people too tired too soon, and accordingly their efficiency is going to be reduced. That is going to be a wastage. Last one is about extra processing. That means doing some activities more than what the customer requires, overdoing. So we need to identify where these 8 types of waste is happening in our processes, and then we'll have to take some action. So again, this is an example from a warehouse. So what type of defects are coming? And again, in order to solve those problems because of these wastages, again, these are the most commonly used lean tools. Kaizen is actually a lean tool used for making some small improvement. So we are not going to make a very breakthrough improvement by implementing Kaizen. So it's only small improvement, maybe by improving the productivity by 0.5% or reducing your defect by 0.2%, etc. So you just it's more of a idea um, suggestion, implementing the suggestions of the given by the employees to encourage them to think in a continuous improvement manner. Pokayake, also called as a mistake proofing. So it is where we are going to put in some low-cost automation in place, so that even if someone wants to deliberately make a mistake also, the system will not allow them to make a mistake. For example, when you are get into your car and you forgot to secure the seat belt, after running for 5 or 10 meters, again there will get an alarm indicating that the seat belt is not secured. Until unless you secure the seat belt, the alarm is going to continue. Same way, for example, you open the microwave oven when it is in the switch on condition, then the machine will immediately stop. So that is an example of Pokayake. So that means even if somebody wants to deliberately make a mistake also, the system will not allow them to make a mistake. That is Pokayake. So whenever you are in a Six Sigma project, whenever you make some improvement and then you want to sustain the improvement, you will have to look for a Pokayake solution. Some sort of an automation, low-cost automation. Then 5S is again a lean tool that will help you to improve the workplace discipline. And in many of the lean or Six Sigma projects, maybe you have taken a lot of efforts to identify and solve the problem. But if the people or your system is not very disciplined and you are violating the process parameters, then over a period of time, again, the same problem will again come and haunt you, and the benefit will be lost. So for that, again, you will have to implement 5S in your organization. So 5S stands for 5 Japanese word. Seiri means sorting. So you'll have to sort what is required and not required. Not required items have to be removed from the workplace. Then whatever the required materials are there, you'll have to arrange them in the proper order so that you don't search unnecessarily for retrieving those items. Then you'll have to shine or clean. So you'll have to do the proper cleaning and the maintenance work daily, weekly, monthly, and annual, so that the machine and the workplace is always clean. and standardize whatever the work you are going to do. You will have to standardize the activities, list of activities, the sequence in which you are going to do the activities, and the time. So that if 10 people are going to do the same work, then all of them will be doing in the same day. Then sustain. So whatever the work improvements you have got because of implementing the first 4 days, then you should be able to sustain. So that is about 5 years. Kanban is actually a visual management tool for inventory control. For example, if machine A has capacity of producing 1,000 parts, machine B has got a capacity for producing only 500 parts. Then if both the machines are going to run, then the machine 2 is going to be like a lot of inventory is going to be there in front of 2. So in order to avoid that, then you will have to just switch on and off the machine number 1 so that the inventory is maintained within a lower and higher limit. So these are some of the most commonly used lean tools. And the A3 problem solving is actually a very simple problem solving technique by using the whatever the tools you already learned. So for example, you want to improve your productivity by 0.5%, or you want to reduce your defect by 0.1%, then you can use this A3 problem solving method. So we call this as a A3 problem solving because the entire documentation of the problem solving can be just documented in a A3 sheet of paper, and it is follows the PDCA cycle which already we have learned. So these were the different steps in the A3 problem solving method. So first we'll have to identify what is the problem, and then we'll have to quantify the current status, then fix the target, what do you want to achieve. Then we have to conduct a root cause analysis by using the tools like the 5-way analysis and the fishbone diagram and Pareto charts and so on. And then you find the root causes for the problem, and then you just prepare an action plan, implement the action plan, and then you follow up on the plan, and then you will be able to get a lot of improvement. So this is actually a very simple but a very structured way of problem solving so that the problems can be fully solved. So to start with, whenever you are learning something, maybe you might be a green belt or a black belt certified professional. But in order to make some immediate implementation, then you can just use this A3 problem solving method, which will be very easy. So this is again a simple format in which the A3 problem solving can be documented. So you'll have to give a very brief information about the background. What is the problem? What is the current state? What is the target you want to achieve? What are the root causes for the problem? What is the action plan you are making? Again, what is the activity? And who has to act, when, and all those things. And then you'll have to, after the improvement has been completed, you have to assess whether real improvement has been achieved or not. So that was about the lean, which is identifying and eliminating waste in the process, and some lean tools we have seen. Now we are going to learn a very high level about what is Six Sigma. So again, many times you find that a lot of problems are always coming, and again, it is repeating. There are some problems which are lying unresolved for a lot of time. For example, the kappa closure improvement. So the corrective and predictive action. So they are supposed to complete within 1 month, but again, 50% of the complaints are not closed within the stipulated time. So again, the same problem. You identify and quantify the problem, find the root causes, make some improvement action, and then you'll be able to close. So the same cycle we'll be using, but again, we'll be using some complex tools, as I was telling earlier. So since whenever you have some complex problems, then for solving that, you can use the Six Sigma methodology. So Six Sigma will help you to reduce the defects, reduce the variation in the processes, improve the process performance, and deliver measurable financial benefits. It's a structured problem solving using data and the statistical tools. That is very important. So for example, this is a problem where assume that there was initially the rejection rate was around 21%, and a lot of variation was there from 15 to 25%. But after taking that as a Six Sigma project and finding the root causes of the problem and taking the corrective action, you can see that there is a drastic reduction in the average yield from 21% to 8%. And again, the variation also has now reduced to 8 to 10%, 6 to 10%. So this is what a typical picture you will get after completing a Six Sigma project. So for whatever the metric you wanted to improve, there will be a drastic improvement will be there. At the same time, the variability in the process also will come down. Okay. So again, we have learned in the previous, the problem solving thing about the DMAIC methodology. So this is a methodology for improving the existing process and existing product. And as I was telling you, if a problem is existing for more than 1 year and variability is the issue, that type of problems can be solved using DMAIC methodology. Define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. So in the define phase, you just start with identifying the customer who is having some problem with respect to either your quality or delivery or price or the safety, etc. So identify the customer who is having the problem. Then listen to the voice of customer. We call it the VOC, voice of customer. Talk to him, try to find out what is the problem he's having. Link it to a critical to X factor. Voice of customer, VOC. Link it to a critical to X factor that is causing more pain to the customer. Whether quality is the issue or delivery is the issue or price is the issue. So try to see what is the pain your customer is having. And then identify, link it to a metric for improvement. For example, the customer will be saying that your delivery is inconsistent. That is the voice of customer. Then the critical to X factor is critical to delivery, CTD. And the metric identifier for improvement is how you are measuring the delivery performance. So you are measuring the delivery performance in terms of percentage on-time delivery. So then you just define the project saying that the objective of the project is to improve the percentage on-time delivery from 85% to 95% by December 2026. So like that you define the problem and you document all the statements, whatever you're told, in a document called as a project charter. So that's what we do in the define phase, defining the problem and documenting the problem and exactly know what you want to achieve. Then in the measure phase, you collect a lot of accurate data from the process. And in the analyze phase, whatever the data you have collected, you analyze with the help of the statistical tool and find out a list of some 3 to 4 critical root causes which are contributing substantially for the problem. And in the improve phase, you take action only on those 3 or 4 critical root causes. And during the control phase, you'll find that by closely monitoring and controlling 1 or 2 critical inputs or process conditions, you'll be able to get a consistent output. So this methodology is applicable for solving any type of problem, any industry, any product or service, or any function. So that is the beauty of this methodology. So this is what I was explaining you. First, to do a fishbone diagram during the measure phase to identify a list of 40 to 60 potential root causes. Then by various quality tools and statistical tools, narrow down to 3 or 4 critical root causes. And then during the improve phase, take action only on those 3 or 4 critical root causes. And in the control phase, by closely monitoring and controlling 1 or 2 critical inputs or process conditions, you'll be able to get a best output. So again, you would have heard about many of the the structure. So the senior management is very important for a Six Sigma. Champions are normally from the senior management people, giving they're the person who are responsible for selecting the project leader and project team, and providing all the administrative support for the project. Master Black Belt is a person who may be the external consultant to start with, and then later internal talent can be grouped. So they will just give the technical guidance for the project. What data needs to be collected from the process and which statistical tools should be used for analysis. And they will again help the project leaders to present their project to the senior management. Black belts are normally from the middle managers and senior managers. So they can lead projects to solve complex technical issues, or they can lead projects to solve some interdepartmental problems. Green belts, again, they can do a small independent project in their own department, or they can be a part of the black belt team. And yellow belts are normally from the lower management people, supervisors and senior workmen. So the main role is to help the green belt or the black belt project leaders to collect accurate data from the process, and then during the control phase to closely monitor and control the process condition. White belt is just a awareness training given to all the employees in the department where the Six Sigma projects are taken up. So we will be just looking into maybe after 10 o'clock, if some of you want to stay back, maybe the session will end at 10 p.m. And then afterwards, if you want to really see how the problem can be solved using this methodology, then I will show you by using the ChatGPT, right? Okay, so again, the myth is that the Six Sigma is applicable only for manufacturing, but that is not right. So Six Sigma can be applied anywhere: manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, retail, banking, IT service, healthcare. So any type of industry, it is applicable. Any function. And again, as I was telling you, so if you are going to be a firefighter and you don't improve your problem solving skills, then always your career growth is going to be very slow. And it may be you may be finding it difficult to move from the executive role to the decision making role, to the managers, general managers, CXOs and all. If you want to move, then you should definitely you should learn to solve the problem by in a structured manner. So that's where the Six Sigma will help you, and that will help you to improve your career growth and lead to higher salary. Okay. So now I will just give a brief about how the sessions are conducted at IceCube. So we conduct the live online sessions joined by the people across all the globe, and we conduct the trainings on every Saturday and Sunday. Every month we conduct a batch, and from Saturday and Sunday from 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. IST. So that is the ideal time for people across the globe to join, and that is the reason we are doing like that. So 4 weekends. Green belt will be a period of 20 to 28 hours, and black belt for 32 hours. And we are actually accredited by the Council for Six Sigma certification. So that is globally recognized. And we always give the digital training material, case studies, templates, and quizzes, etc. So I will just show you some examples of what we have seen. So our courses are aligned with the ASQ and ISSC syllabus. So they're internationally recognized exam. So you get the globally recognized certificate with a lifetime validity. So no need for you to renew the certificate. So it is going to have a lifetime validity, and it is globally recognized. And again, convenient batch times for participants across the globe. And we also use the mobile app for the convenient learning with the lifetime free access. So again, these are the advantages you are going to get by taking the training from us. So again, I am the person who will be taking the training. So as I was already told you, I have a trainer with 40 plus years of experience, both in the manufacturing and IT sector. And I also have a deep understanding of the software development process. So I can just give a lot of real life examples. So the practical learning with case studies. So again, if you go through the Google review, given with the students, they will always appreciate the practical learning, how we can apply all those concepts and tools in the solving a real life problem. So we'll be just doing that. So it is a AI tool-aided teaching. So during these 8 sessions, you will be asked to select a project problem from your own area of work. Maybe we will do it after 10 o'clock. Maybe I will randomly pick up one person who is willing to volunteer. And then with the help of we have prepared a standard set of prompts. So by using the prompts, then you'll be able to solve any type of problem in your real area of work to get a clear understanding. So again, after the training and certification is over, again, we also have the post-certification assistant. So again, we are going to, the WhatsApp group will continue after you complete the certification exam also. And again, you will be added to a new group in our mobile app. And then you'll be having the access to all the latest course material, the latest videos, recordings, etc. So that always will be in touch with the subject. And after that, if you want to analyze any data, if you want to do any project in your own area of work, or if you want to write some international exams like ASQ or ISSC, so definitely you can always contact us. And individual attention because of small batch size. And again, one-to-one project review. So after, while you are taking the session, we will be doing the project, and during the session time itself, and then after the project is completed, at least 1 or 2 project reviews you will have, so that I will be personally interacting with each and every one of you to go through that project, so that your understanding will be better. So you also will get the downloadable templates like the CIPA diagram, fishbone, Pareto, control charts, etc., so that these tools can be always used in your day-to-day life. Again, real case studies you will be having. So the recorded sessions, again, after the sessions are completed, the recorded sessions will be shared with you. And again, we have the mobile app. In the mobile app, you have a lot of quizzes and the mock test and the final exam. Everything will be taken through. The recordings also will be posted in the mobile app, so that it is going to be a continuous and lifelong learning will be there if you join our course. So after going through our green belt or black belt training session, what actually key skills you are going to gain is you will be able to identify the improvement opportunities in your own area of work, and solve the real workplace problem. That will help you to reduce the cost and improve the efficiency, and you'll be able to lead the improvement initiatives within your own department of the organization. So these are some of the testimonials given by our students. So you can see that they are always talking about this practical approach. Again, very easy to understand, simple, right? So what are the slides you have seen now? So that is the type of content we are having. Easy to understand in the pictorial format, and so very complex concepts are explained in a very simple manner. And this is a certificate you will get after completing the project. So you'll have your name and the title of the project what you're going to work. Okay. So I'll just go through in quickly about our training material and what type of help or what type of approach experience you are going to have. So again, this is what is the study material. So again, you can see that all are having a lot of pictures, easy to understand, colorful. So that very complex topics also will be covered in a very simple manner. I will also show you the PowerPoint presentation for the analyst phase, which is supposed to be the most difficult part. But again, we have tried to use a very simple language. In many of the training institutes, you will find a lot of mathematical equations and very complex mathematical techniques, but we have tried to make it very simple and easy to understand. But again, without compromising on the quality, right? So, because again, if you are going to compromise on the quality, then your problem-solving skills is going to be affected. So you can see that it's very easy to understand. And again, you will be also be exposed to Minitab. So Minitab is actually a statistical software. So where you can analyze the data and solve the problem, and you will have so we'll give you a version which you can keep it with you for lifelong. And whenever you want to use this for solving your own problems, then you can use that particular software. And again, this is what is the mobile app what you are going to have. So once you log in, once you enroll with us, then you will be mapped to any of your batches. So for example, this is what the current batch of March batch. So again, this is what is the content. So all your study material will be uploaded in the here, or the PowerPoint presentation should be here. So you can access anytime from your mobile, and all the recordings will be uploaded into the mobile app. Again, you can see that 6 sessions have been completed so far. So again, anytime, anywhere, you can just have this access to the recording. And you are also going to have the quizzes. So the entire course material is divided into 10 modules, and after each module, you are going to have a mock test. And then the final exam also will be just done in the mobile app itself. So it's a very good learning tool. And after you just complete the course, then you are going to be added to one of our, we call as our elite group. So you'll be added to this particular group. So you will be having the access to the latest material. So every 3 months we'll be changing this material here. So you'll be just added to this Lean Six Sigma Elite Advanced Learning. So almost more than 100 students are there. So again, every month we are going to conduct a session for our alumni students, so that the latest concept and how they can really apply in their day-to-day life. So those type of classes we'll be taking here. So that is what happened. So again, once you come into the ICEQBS, again, it is going to be a lifelong learning, and always you'll be easily approachable to the trainers and the experts in Lean Six Sigma in our organization. And while you are doing the sessions itself, again, you are going to do a project. So I will also show you the projects. So for example, this is what is the students projects. So I will randomly pick up, say, for example, March 2026. Or you can say March is under progress. So in January. So you can see that we are having a standard set of the prompts. So 40 questions are there. So again, you'll have to, once you give the information about what is the vertical you are working, whether it's manufacturing or whatever it is, what is the product or service, which function you are working, and then give this prompt and all these three inputs, and then try to identify 10 problems that can be solved using Six Sigma. So it will list out some 10 problems. So out of these 10, definitely you'll be able to relate some 6 or 7 problems with your own real life problem. So out of this, you can select any one of the problem according to your choice. And then you can just try to identify 10 metrics that can be improved by solving that particular problem. And then you just identify the process taken for improvement by using the Pareto charts, by using all those tools, right? So again, the define phase. So starting from identifying the customer, and then listening to the voice of customer, linking the voice of customer to the critical text matter. So step by step, just you do that. Then this is the baseline data. Then the CPAC diagram. Project charter is one of the major deliverable in the define phase. Then in the another phase, again start with the fishbone diagram to find out all the possible root causes for the problem. Then narrowing down all these 8 types of waste, right? So again, you'll be able to identify some low-hanging fruits based on this, whatever the information you are getting. And then you'll be able to use some statistical tools for solving the problem. You collect the data. So the dummy data will be created by the chat GPT, and with the help of the chat GPT. So again, you'll be using this Minitab, other things. So again, looks to be a bit complex for you if you don't know about this. But this is what is the skill you are going to learn, get occur from attending our sessions, right? So these are all output from the Minitab will be looking like this, but even without having the Minitab also, we can, with the correct prompts, you'll be able to get this type of output from this. So whenever you are going to complete our course, so by the time you are going to, you will be able to identify the type of problems that can be used, like what methodology you will have to follow for solving a particular problem, depending upon the complexity of the problem. And then you are going to be exposed to a lot of tools and techniques. And then you also will have the expertise of how those tools and concepts can be applied for solving your real life problem, right? So to end with, I am just saying that so the current March batch has been just completed. So our April batch is going to start next week, coming Saturday, Sunday, and it will go on for 4 weeks. And again, after that, again, as I told you, every month we are going to have one session. And if you are interested in joining any of these courses, then you can contact this number. Or again, our people who are in touch with you. So again, they will contact you for if you are interested in joining us. Okay. So that's what I wanted to say to you. So if you have any doubts or any questions, you can ask me now. Okay. So any questions, any doubts? So I think you have got a very high level understanding about what is covered, what actually covered is covered here. So any questions, any doubts? Okay. So any one of you want to see how a problem is solved? Like you want to do see some sort of a demo. So whoever wants to see a demo, you can just say back. Others, if you feel that maybe you can just log off, you can log out. It is your wish. But suppose if some of you want to really see, but in that case, you'll have to be very interactive. So if you are interactive, then we can take a real problem for your own this thing, and then see whether you are getting a feeling that yes, these tools and concepts can be applied for solving the problem.
Sir,
Yeah.
can we get the recording video of this session,
Yeah,
sir?
yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
getting late for night shift now, sir.
yeah,
So
sure.
I have to leave now. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
asked you, sir.
yeah, sure, sure. So you will get this recording and you will get this PowerPoint presentation also.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So anyone, if you want to really solve, then you can just come up and then we will just try to hear from you what problem you are trying to solve, and then we will just see how the template whatever showed you, then how that can be used for solving a problem step by step. Yes, Samim.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm working in a food service industrial catering division.
Okay.
So what I face is that presence of this foreign objects. Sometimes it is plastics, those food covers. Sometimes it's some pins or all. We are producing in a large quantity, 10,000 meals. So, but the recurring issue is that the foreign objects.
Okay. Okay, then we will just see, because again, this is actually not manufacturing, this is some sort of a service industry. So we will just see how using this template, how we can solve. Okay. So I will just save it as save this file. So name the vertical you are working for. So more like it is manufacturing, right? Or service. Can we say whether it is a manufacturing or it's a service? You are actually, for the industrial people, you are providing food, right? Preparing food.
Yeah, the production of food. Yeah.
Okay. So they can just say it's manufacturing. So the product or service? The product is
Product is like the meals, food. 3 times like breakfast, lunch, dinner, the meals.
meals for workmen, like employees.
Yes. Yeah.
So you are in production, right? Production department.
I'm actually quality food safety onto that.
Okay, food safety, right?
Yeah.
So your main role is to ensure that the food is safe, right? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Now we will try to. So if that problem, if ChatGPT is able to identify, we will just see whatever you are telling about the foreign material, right? And is giving this technology can identify 10 problems that can be solved using Six Sigma in the food safety department of an organization producing meals for industrial enterprise, right? So only the list. Otherwise, it will be a lot of story. Is it cross contamination between raw and cooked food during preparation? Is that what you are telling?
No.
So one is microbial contamination, that is high variation cooking temperature, high rate of production, deviation from standard cooking, improper cleaning and sanitation, allergens.
It is
So you
consider
want to
this
the
high number
foreign
of
birds.
customer complaints related to food quality and safety. Maybe we can add in that.
Okay. Or you want to be very specific about the external material.
I think that would be much better.
So
Foreign objects.
higher metal fragment plastic
Yeah.
insertion put you to 100%.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what is the problem. Okay,
Yeah.
so then we'll just see what is the what is the metric you are going to identify. So can you identify 10 metrics that can be improved by solving a problem of so you are trying to identify the what metric you are trying to improve. So which one it will be, right? Is it the defects DPMO or percentage of meals? Do you reject it or what do you do with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Or is it the number of customer complaints
Number of customer complaints actually.
related to foreign objects, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that is a metric you are trying to improve. So metric you are trying to improve is number of customer complaints related to foreign objects. That is the metric you are taking for improvement. Okay. So can you give the list of end-to-end process, because we want to narrow down the process for improvement, right? Because again, from the raw material to the cooking, final delivery, final distribution, so a lot of steps may be there. So we'll have to see whether how you can narrow down the scope of the project. So can you give the list of end-to-end process in meal preparation for industrial purpose? Okay. So I think your real this thing will start from here, no? Pre-preparation. There is washing, peeling, cutting, marination, cooking and food preparation, holding, portioning and plating and distribution, right? So these were your this will come, right?
No, I think from fourth one, receiving.
Receiving and instructions. Okay, receiving and
Yeah.
instructions. Okay. So now if you are going to do a project covering the end-to-end process from 4 to 11, again, the project may not be focused, right? So that is the reason you can just see whether you can use the Pareto chart to just identify a very particular process, no, where the possibility of this thing is going to be more.
Okay.
So then for that again, we can use this term. So I'm going to again give a prompt. Again, all the data will be created. Dummy data will be created. So give it some dummy data to identify the process to be taken for improvement. To reduce the number of customer complaints, right? To reduce the number of customer complaints by using Pareto chart. So that will help you to narrow the main why we are doing this. Instead of having the end-to-end process, we are trying to focus only on one. So here it is identifying the pre-preparation. So do you think which one you want to take, pre-preparation or portioning and plating? Which one according to you is contributing more for the problem?
It's preparation.
Pre-preparation or portioning, raw material, cooking,
Pre-preparation.
pre-preparation, right? Okay. So then this is the process you are going to focus upon, right?
Yeah.
Or you can just say like if it is going to be end-to-end process, again you can just see so from pre-preparation up to portioning also you can take whatever you feel. So according to
Okay.
you, which one you want to take only pre-preparation or you want to take this thing and preparation or
Okay, let's go with 6 to 9. Yeah.
69
Mm.
pre-preparation to portioning and placing, right?
Yeah.
So process taken for improvement is pre-preparation to portioning and plating. Okay, so once you have identified, now you know what is the problem you are trying to solve. The problem what you are trying to solve is to reduce the number of customer complaints because of the foreign material,
Yes.
so that you already identify the problem for improvement. And the process what you are taking for improvement is the pre-preparation up to the portioning and plating process, right?
Yeah.
So this is very important. So up to this, maybe it may be a bit difficult for you to exactly, uh, if you are coming from the different industries or different verticals, it may be a bit difficult. That is a very difficult part of it. But from now onwards, it will be a bit easy by using these prompts.
Mm-hmm.
So first we start with identifying the customers, who are internal customers and external customers.
It's both.
Yeah, both.
Mm.
So far, the process taken for improvement, that is. So for this process, pre-preparation to final listing, who are the identify the customer. So that is a starting point, identifying the customers. So internal customers, cooking team, quality team, serving distribution. So these are the internal customers, internal to the organization. External customers are the industry employees, client of organization, food safety regulatory bodies, contracting companies. So these are the external customers.
Mm.
Then once you identify the customers, you'll have to identify what is the problem they are having. Identify the voice of customer. Voice of customer, what the customers are complaining. Then what is actually causing more fee to the customer. So the voice of customer says that food served should be free from any foreign particle, clean and safe to consume.
Mm-hmm.
Critical data study, it is critical to quality, right? Critical to quality. CTQ means critical to quality, foreign object free meal. Metric is the number of customer complaints related to foreign objects per month. Okay. Now, in your company, on an average, how many complaints you are getting because of this? On an average, every month?
Every month, 3 to 4.
And then the average is, I will take around 4.
Mm.
And variation range from 1 to 7 or something like that.
Mm.
A lot of variation is there. Some months maybe very less, something is more.
Yes.
So range from, I will just say 1 to 7.
Mm.
So a lot of variation is there. Average is 4. So that's what we are trying to. So again, it will create some dummy data for the last 9 months data.
Okay.
So mean is 7, range is 1 to 7. So this is what is the number of customer complaints, right? So again, it has created some dummy data. So this is what is the current performance. So again, you have to draw the trend chart to again confirm that variability is the issue. As I told you, Six Sigma helps you to reduce the defects by reducing the variation in the processes. So we need to establish that the variability is the issue. So for that, again, we are drawing the trend chart. So again, so these type of graphs, you can just get it. So from the ChatGPT itself. So I am using a paid version. If you are using a free version, then all the text questions and answers you can get it. But these pictures maybe at the maximum only 2 or 3 what you can get. Otherwise, again, your memory will be exhausted. But again, you can go for a 400 rupees. I think there is a plan is there. So if you are going to take it for 1 month, then till the time you are completing the course, that will be helpful. Then it is up to you. whether you want to continue that or not, but I think it's worth it if you are going to use it. So now we have to identify the primary metric. So what is the metric we're trying to improve? So these are standard questions. So primary metric is what you are trying to improve. Secondary metric is while you are trying to improve the primary metric, you should not end up with an action which is going to have a negative impact on something else, right? For example, you want to reduce the number of customer complaints, so you are introducing one step, saying that you are going to do the checking at each and every stage, right, from pre-preparation to the, then it is going to increase the cycle time, or it is going to delay the lunch, right? Delay the food. So that should not be affected. Whatever the actions you are going to take should help you to reduce the customer complaints. At the same time, that should not result in increase preparation time or delay in serving. So at the end of the project, you will have to establish that the number of customer complaints has reduced and the cycle time, either that is remaining same or that also has improved. That should not deteriorate. So that is the purpose of defining the secondary metric. Then this is a prepare a CPOC diagram. This is mainly to identify the boundaries of the process taken for improvement. So where it starts and where it ends. So where actually you are trying to focus. So inputs will be the raw material, that is vegetables, grains, meats, etc., spices. These are the inputs to the process. Washing and cleaning, then sorting and inspection, then cutting, peeling, trimming, intermediate inspection, transfer to cooking, portioning and plating, right? So output, final output is the portion controlled, ready to serve meals, right? So this will help you to identify this is where you are going to focus. This is a starting point and this is the ending point. So within this process only, you are trying to improve in order to address the problem. Then we are going to give a proper project charter. So this is going to clearly document what actually you are trying to achieve by doing the project. So again, problem statement, what is the current problem? Average customer complaint is 4. A lot of variation is there. Goal is to reduce to less than 1. So because of that, what is going to be the impact in terms of money, right? Losing so much of cost of property are going to reduce and all those things. So business case is actually the reason why, what are the benefits you are going to get by doing the project. Scope of project, what is in scope and what is out of scope. Then the team schedule. So this is only the project charter. So that is what is the define phase. So in the define phase, we are exactly identifying the very focused process for improvement and exactly the problem what you are going to solve. What is the current status? What is the target you want to achieve and by when? And what is the benefit you are going to do the project? What is going to be in scope and out of scope? Who are the project team members and the project leader? And what is going to be the schedule for the project? So that should be documented, right? So that's what we normally do in the define phase. Then in the measure phase, we first start with the fishbone diagram. So if you remember that problem solving funnel, so first we start with a full list of all the potential root causes for the problem, and then slowly we will just narrow down to the critical 3 or 4. So for each M, for man, machine, material, etc. So it is just giving 5 causes, right? So again, in a real life scenario, you may be doing a actual brainstorming session with around 8 to 12 people. But here we are actually creating the dummy data. So once you have done that, then you will have to, can you divide that into common causes and special causes? This is actually a concept which you will be learning as a part of Six Sigma. So again, whenever you are finding the causes, there will be some causes which are always present. Like I will just explain you. And there are some causes which are very specific, which happen very rarely. So for example, these are all always will be the lack of awareness, inadequate training, carelessness. So these are all always will be there. But there may be some one-time incidents like poor personal hygiene. Sometimes some people hair is not covered, or some worn out cutting tools hiding the metal particles, etc. So this may be like one-time offer, right? So these are the causes which it's very difficult to find. So these all will be taking for the next stage of filtration by using some other tool, right? And these are the cases we can immediately take some immediate action. We call this a special causes. Then again, this again we'll be learning as a part of the lean. Muda, mura, muri. Muda means waste. Mura means variation or inconsistency. And muri means overburdening. Means giving more stress to the manpower of the machine. So this actually we are doing in order to identify the immediate improvement opportunities, right? Because normally it will take around 4 to 6 months for you to complete a Six Sigma project. And instead of waiting for all the 4 to 6 months till the end you get the result, then you can just do this analysis and then try to find out some causes which can be immediately solved so that some immediate benefits will be able to get. So that's what we call this the low hanging fruits. So in order to identify that only we are doing this. So again, the list 2 examples for each type of waste. So we have learned these 8 types of waste, no? Defects, overproduction, waiting, and so on. So you can see that these are all some of the normal problems we are facing, right? So these are all some of the problems what you can relate it, right? Rework due to removal of contaminated food, it's the wastage. Food wastage due to disposal of contaminated patches, extra inspection time. So these are all waste, right? So these are all some of the problems which you can relate it to your own area of work. Then based on all this, because these are all some of the areas where you can take some immediate action. So again, I'm just giving this as a prompt here. So based on the Gemba work, prepare an action plan to address the issues on the special causes, 3M and 8 ways, because these are all obvious causes. So if you are able to take some action on that, then some immediate improvement you will be able to get. So 20 to 25% of the improvement what you are wanting to achieve, that you'll be able to get within a month or 2. So that is the purpose of doing this. So these are some of the actions you can immediately take. So implement 5 Rs plus visual management like hair nets, gloves, dress code for checklists at entry. Introduce autonomous maintenance with daily checklists for tools and sieves. Standardize the SOP, standardize for improve the layout, introduce the POCA. These are all some of the actions. These are the problems. Solving the problems, these are the actions you can take, immediate actions you can take, right? So that some improvement will be there in the measure phase itself. Then this actually is a tool that will, out of this 20 to 25 potential common causes are there. So we want to prioritize some 7 or 8 for data collection because we cannot collect data on all the 25 to 30 root causes. So for that, we are using a tool which will be learning in the green belt or a black belt training program. So based upon that, you will be able to identify the inconsistent inspection practices, lack of SOP, poor personal guide, own out cutting tool, damage, sieves or filters. So these are some of the possible causes, right? So in a real manufacturing setup, so for example, you are doing some automobile components or aerospace components, then you'll be able to identify some process parameters like maybe the speed of the spindle or the cutting speed. So like that, you'll be able to identify some measurable parameters. So once you have narrowed down the top 7 causes, so from that, you'll have to make a detailed data collection plan. So what are the data you're going to collect for the process in order to solve the problem? Okay, these are something which you may not be able to understand. So I'll just skip it for the time being because these are all going into the depth of it. So now, based on that 7 root causes, whatever we have identified, then we have to find out what are the 3 or 4 critical root causes. So again, for that, I'm creating the dummy data. So these are some of the statistical tools what you'll learn. So this is actually in the downloadable Excel. So actually in your real life, you will be collecting the data like this is the batch. So how many batches? So this is the type of data you are going to collect from the process. So then validating the critical root causes using the statistical tool. That is the key point or the unique feature of a Six Sigma project. So can you identify the top three? Again, based on the data will be so inspection compliance, SOP adherence, and tool conditions. So these are the out of all those whatever we start off with the 30. So out of these are the three important root causes: tool condition, SOP adherence, and inspection compliance. Then again, you can just make an action plan in order to address those three root causes. Then what are the actions we can take? We'll make an action plan. So again, you got one action plan during the measure phase itself. That was for the low-hanging fruits. And this is where again a lot of permanent improvements will come. In inspection compliance, development display visual SOPs, implement daily tool inspection checklist. So these are some actions what you can immediately take. Again, these are all something very important. So again, you can just create some dummy data for the after data. So before the average was around 4%, and our aim was to reduce it to less than 1%. So again, we can create some dummy data for the after improvement data. So this is what is the after improvement. This is what is the number of customer complaints per month. Okay. So again, we can validate whether the improvement has been real or not. And then we can just suggest some 5 in order to sustain the improvements, what are the actions you have to take. So we normally get 3 action plans. One is during the measure phase as a low-hanging fruit. Another is after the improve phase is completed, you identify the critical root causes. For that, again, you will get an action plan. And then in order to sustain the improvements, then what are the actions you can take, right? So this actually, whatever you have done here, might not be solving the problem, but at least you will be knowing like what should be the procedure you should follow so that systematically the problem can be solved. Okay. Any questions, Tamim?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
We'll
Okay,
see.
Vinod.
Going
Yeah.
forward.
Vinod, any questions? Maybe you can do more if you join our session. Maybe you can just do some other this thing, exact problems you can just try to solve. Okay. Okay. Any questions further? Okay, then thanks. Thanks for joining. Have a good day. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night.